So we created a role that the second role with two business functions, and those two business functions generated risks. We wanted to test whether when the system finds risks, whether it should be able to generate the role or not. We tried testing it, and we we actually changed the configuration parameters related to role generation. Let's go back and check what those parameters were. So we had four or five parameters which related to role generation, where we have now said no. Okay, earlier these were yes, but now we are saying no. We are saying no for these parameters because in an ideal scenario, there are, let's say, there are risks involved in the role. You would not want the roles to be generated unless the roles have been mitigated or remediated. Okay, so mitigated in the sense the conflicts may still be there, but there will be some mitigation controls put in place. And remediation would mean that you remove one of the two conflicting transaction codes or authorizations. So we said no to all this allowing rule generation in case there are violations. Okay, so now let's go and check whether and see what happens when we try to create a role. Now let us go and take some other risks. We'll take these two business functions to create our role, MM05 and PR05. So let's go and create a single role again. Let's put the ticket number, testing role generation with risks. Okay. And click on OK. And let's go and start creating. Now this time, because there's a MM involved, so let's go and pick, I thought we created MM, no? Okay. Oh, application, right? We are talking about business functions. Okay, business process. So SAP R3, and now from a business process, let's select materials management. And now this time, let's say the sub-process, select the project release, and then let's go and start defining the role. Right? Let's say we say 000. Now, if I try to create some, without this naming pattern, I won't be able to do it because in the configuration, when we created the role naming convention, we said we have to enforce that naming convention. All right, so let's say MGMT okay, 1, okay? So let's say materials management role 1. So we don't generate the profile name. Let's go and check the properties. So we know what these are now by now. Recertification, user recertification, critical level, sensitivity. Now all of these could be used, all these attributes could be used while with different role methodologies, okay, using MSMP and BRF plus rules. mean, when I say all attributes, meaning critical level sensitivity, and some of these ones. Okay, functional area also. Depending on the functional area, you can send the approvals for different people. So, and this one, functional area is what? Let's see. We didn't have materials management, so let's take sales, okay, for change. Okay, and every time you assign an attribute, just click on save. Add the company name. And some of these attributes are not mandatory, okay? We are just going through this steps. Okay, approvers. Again, it's a mandatory if you are doing, if you are going to create MSN workflow for approvals. Okay, so you might, so you'll have to assign the primary approver and the alternate approver. So let's take, in this case, let's take OTC. Oh. So let's go and add. So let's take the primary owner and let's take the alternate owner. The assignment approver and role content approver. Save it. So we are not going through the prerequisites and role mapping this for this ones, and then give a detailed description about the role. Okay, go to provisioning and then assign it as production, because like I said, if it's not, role status is not production, the roles will not be available for user provisioning. All right, save. I'm not going through any of these anymore. So let's go to define role again, because if you don't, you will not get save and continue button. Okay, so once this is done, okay, so now we need to maintain authorizations, right? So we are going to use these two functions, MM05 and PR05. Okay, so let's go and add those two functions. Okay, the purpose of this example is to show the effects of those configuration parameters, okay? And want to see if the roles get generated or not this time. And add the second business function, PR05. Say okay. All right. Now select push authorization data to the backend and then go and maintain the role in the backend system. So your user ID is going to be prompted here. So enter your password. Okay, so you're taken to the backend system. Expand this. So you'll see the roles, the transaction codes from both of those two functions. Okay, click on authorizations. So the profile name is already generated. Okay, so let's maintain full authorizations here, because let's consider this also as a parent role. So now when I say full authorization, in this case was the org levels. Now you're maintaining authorizations. Okay, save it. We are not generating the profile right now. So go back. So the profile status is not generated. Now exit the backend system. Okay. And now sync the data, okay, with PFCG so that all the authorizations that you maintain come into access control BRM. Okay, synchronize PFCG authorizations from the backend system. Now you can check what you got. Okay, you got the transaction codes. Now you have the authorizations. If you expand, you'll see the objects and then you'll see the field values also. Okay. And the org levels that you maintain in the role, we maintain everything as an asterisk. And then you can also see in this case, again, what are the two functions that were involved in this. All right, so once you have that, in additional details we already did. So we maintain this as production. Okay, go back to maintain authorizations, save and continue. Now we're going to skip the derived role step here, okay, for now. Continue. Now you need to run this risk analysis for the role that you're creating. So you pick up the rule set that is that is valid for you. Select action level and click on foreground. So you got the risks, and here you can either mitigate the risk and assign the mitigating controls. Okay, pick up the risk and you do the mitigating controls. Now let's see how many risk IDs you have. So this one, okay. So let's go and check the details. So you have the functions MMN05 and PR05. This is the risk ID. These are the transaction code within the functions, and the combination of these transaction codes from these two functions are causing the SOD conflict. Okay. All right. Now click on save and continue. The next step is generate roles. Now this is where we need to we want to see because of those parameters in the configuration parameters where we said no, whether the system is going to generate the role or not. Click on generate. So you get to the role generation steps. So next, foreground, and give your password. Okay. And say next. Okay. Now if you want to rerun the risks analysis, you can, okay. But you don't have to because you already ran it once. And again, if you want to mitigate the risk, you can do it here too. So what you do is you click on this and then you assign the user ID or the mitigating control ID. Okay, or you can create a control here itself from here also. Anyway, we are not doing that now. Okay, now you submit. So you're doing the submission for generation, right? Now see, you're getting this message, cannot generate role due to two violations and risk analysis. So in order to generate this risk, ideally, to generate this role, you would have to either remediate the risks, meaning remove the one of the conflicting transaction codes or authorizations or whatever the case may be. You have to remove one of the conflicts, okay? Or you mitigate the control, okay? Mitigate the risk, basically. So now you cannot, unless you mitigate or remediate, you cannot generate the role. Every time you do this, you're going to go to get the same error message. And when you close it, and now if you go to close this and go to So it is not in the complete status, right? The current phase is always, now in this case, is generate roles. So we have been stopped because of the conflicts. We have been stopped at the generate roles phase. So unless in this case, unless we remove the conflicts, we will not be able to generate the roles. And unless we generate the roles, this role will not be available for user provisioning. So this is not complete. Okay. So the roles have to be in complete status in BRM. Okay. So this is how the parameters is another example of how the configuration parameters control what happens in each of those access control tools, right? So what we saw is related to role management. Similarly, you'll have, for example, in this case, what we did was when we tried to do the risk analysis, and this time, if you observed, uh, the rule set automatically uh, that was displayed was global. That is because we changed the value in this parameter 1025 in risk analysis. That's why you saw global in the rule set by default. Okay. In earlier examples, it was something else. So how those tools, right, risk analysis or EAM or role management or MSMP, what you see on the screen and how they behave from a functionality standpoint, a lot depends on the configuration parameters here. Okay, so this is how you create single roles. Okay, so next we will see how do we create a composite role.